Welcome back everybody to another episode. Now today we're going to be covering a topic that I've been getting quite a few questions on, especially before the duck season even opened, but I just got time to make this video. And that is, what items do you need for duck hunting? But I'm going to throw a little bonus on there, and how do we get into duck hunting for cheap? Like I said, not only am I going to go over the list here in this video, but I want to go over how you're going to do it for cheap. And before we start this video, every single thing, I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to go ahead and link everything down in the description, like the cheapest items of what you can buy. And you guys can just go ahead, click the link to Amazon, and it'll take you over there, and you guys can just, it'll be the cheapest stuff that you can buy for duck hunting. So before I start going through everything that you're going to need and talking about how cheap you guys can get it, we're going to just talk about a shotgun really quick. I'm just gonna assume that you guys have a shotgun, or you're gonna be, borrowing one, whatever it may be. I'm not gonna cover a shotgun in this video. I'll tell you guys really quick what I use for a shotgun. I use a Stoeger M3000. Now the reason why I bought that shotgun is I'm not a super hardcore duck hunter. I also do a lot of bow hunting. So for me, it didn't really pay to invest in a super expensive shotgun. If you guys wanna do that, that's fine. The Stoeger M3000 is about, I think it's like $550 brand new. So it was a good shotgun for me and my choice. I've did a lot of research. A lot of people said they were reliable, and you did have some mixes in there of people saying that they were unreliable, but that's not the point of this episode. I've had no issues with my Stoeger, but I'm just gonna assume for this episode, you guys, that you have a shotgun. Now you may be a new beginner, or you're looking to get someone involved in duck hunting for cheap, and like I said before, everything will be linked to Amazon, the cheapest things that you can get, and I'm also gonna throw in some bonus tips there of some things that are not on Amazon, but that you guys are already familiar with, that you're going to be able to look at and find things super cheap for duck hunting. The first thing here, guys, which is probably going to be your biggest purchase out of this, is going to be waders, guys. Now these are a pair of Frog Tog waders. I got these for like 130 or 140 bucks. I'll link the cheapest and best quality of each item from Amazon down below. Obviously, you guys can pick what you want. I might even be linking Frog Togs if they're cheap enough, but these are 1,200 grams. You can get away with 600 grams, but these things are pretty cheap, and I like Frog Togs. They hold up well. I've never had issues with them. I borrowed a pair for my first season of duck hunting, and then when I started to get into it myself, I picked up the same exact pair. They're fairly cheap and they're good quality waders. Had no issues with them, so I recommend Frog Togs. But like I said, there's also some other brands out there like Tidewee as well. Those are cheaper brands of waders that you can get as well, that are still good quality. But once again, it'll be linked in the description to Amazon to some good quality waders. So the next thing you guys are gonna need is decoys here. I just have a Drake mallard and then a hen mallard here. Flambeau decoys. Now, they're not gonna be the super expensive, super detailed, super high quality decoys, but they'll definitely get the job done. I'm not gonna break the bank on these Flambeau decoys, and I just checked on Amazon, and you can get a dozen decoys from Flambeau that are going to run you about 60 bucks. But if you pay attention on Amazon and you keep looking, sometimes on Amazon, if you pay attention, you'll find these Flambeau decoys, a dozen of them, for like 30 to 35 bucks, and for that price, it's an absolute steal. Like I said, these Flambeau decoys will get the job done. There's nothing, like I said, they're not crazy good, detailed like your Avian X decoys and stuff like that, but they'll get the job done. There's nothing wrong with these decoys whatsoever. I'm gonna do you guys one better here on the decoys. Instead of going to Amazon, before you guys click the link and go over to Amazon and look at picking up these decoys here, look on an app that we all have. Facebook. We all have the Facebook app. I'm sure the majority of you who watch this channel have Facebook. There's the marketplace little button you can click on there. Go to that icon, type in duck hunting or duck decoys, and you'll be surprised on how cheap you can find decoys and just any duck hunting equipment, really. You might even be able to find waders super cheap on there. I've seen a lot of people give away decoys or even duck calls on the Facebook marketplace for people that are getting into hunting. I personally got these decoys right here on the Facebook marketplace for super cheap. I think there was like 6 and 6. It was like 6 mallards and 6 hens. It was a dozen decoys. and I got them for 30 bucks, guys. There's nothing wrong with them, no cracks in them whatsoever. All I have to do is rig them up, a little bit of rope and weights on them. Other than that, and some of them actually already came rigged up. I think half of the decoys that I got were already rigged up, so I only have to rig half, but I got it for 30 bucks, guys. It's a super steal, and there's nothing wrong with the decoys. They're perfectly fine, and they're gonna do me good. But like I said, check out that Facebook Marketplace. You'll be surprised what you can find on there for duck hunting equipment. Like I said, you might even be able to find a pair of waders for super cheap. The next thing you guys are gonna need is a bag for decoys. This bag has already got the decoys in them. There's actually only 9 decoys in this bag, but it can hold 20. These are probably the cheapest bags you're gonna find, but they're super, super durable. They work, and that's pretty much the deal. You guys are looking to get into duck hunting cheap, and this is everything you're gonna need to get into duck hunting for super cheap. Just the necessities, and you'll be ready to hunt. Like I said, this is a bag. I think on Amazon they're like 10 bucks. Like I said, I'll link it down below. You guys can go check it out, but I think it's only like 10 bucks for one of these bags. They can carry up to 20 decoys, which is gonna be plenty for you beginning hunters. Now let's get back to the decoys here, guys. Now, another thing that you're going to need for your decoys is going to be, sorry, smack the weight there, but is going to be a weight, which is like, you know, like a lead weight. These are my buddies. One of my buddies let me borrow some decoys, and this is the weight that he has on there. Usually like a 4-ounce weight works pretty good, but you're gonna need weight, and you're gonna need either rope or cable connected to the decoy here to obviously hold your decoys in place. On Amazon, you can buy some rope, and like I said, I'm gonna link it down below, just some little either paracord or just something. I'll figure out what it is, but down below I'll link it, and you're gonna need a good set of that. I'll figure out the lengths for you guys that'll go with a dozen decoys, so you have plenty for that dozen decoys. So you just be able to click that link and add it to the cart, and you'll know that you'll have enough rope for all your dozen decoys. And obviously you're going to need to order the weights. If you can't get the weights, some people actually, especially in my area, take the lead and they melt them down and they do it themselves. You might be able to find some on that marketplace as well, but just for the sake of this video, on Amazon you can buy some weights on there. I will find the cheapest weights for you guys down below, but you're gonna need weights and some cable. I know at Shields around this area you can also buy them already rigged up, and all you gotta do is connect them to the decoy. Completely up to you guys, but like I said, I'm trying to do this on a budget, so it's gonna be cheaper if I just go ahead and throw you know, some rope and weights in there for you guys. But like I said, it'll all be in the description. You guys can go check it out. And now the next thing on the list, guys, is going to be duck calls. Okay, now you really only need probably one duck call. I have some duck calls on here with some goose calls, but we're just gonna focus on duck hunting calls. I have a lanyard for my duck calls. You can pretty much make a lanyard out of whatever you want to use for a lanyard. Some people actually just take their duck call and throw it in their waders. Whatever you want to do here. I have a bunch of different calls on here. I'm going to list down in the description a Buck Gardner duck call, simply because of price and quality, guys. You can get some cheaper duck calls out there, but those Buck Gardner calls are really, really nice. They sound super crisp, and I'd rather you guys get a good quality call that you're gonna be able to use for years and years and years than get some call that's just not as good quality. But all you need to get in here, guys, is just one simple duck call, and I will link that down below in the description for you guys. So there you guys have it. That is everything that you guys would need to get into duck hunting for super, super cheap. I wanna say that it's gonna price in under $200, if not a lot cheaper than that. But like I said, I'll link everything down below in the description to Amazon. You guys can check it out as well. I'm gonna list in a couple bonus options that if you have some extra cash, it wouldn't hurt to have these items as well. Now the first item that I love using is going to be a jerk cord. You can see all these decoys here, but I have a little cable here that runs off, and that's the anchor here, guys. This is something that you would take this end out first, the anchor, you would pull it all the way out, and then you would drop it, and these decoys would follow behind it, and then you would just pull on this, and what it does is it moves those decoys back and forth to give you movement in the spread. So if you're in calm, slack water, sometimes a jerk cord, it's gonna make your spread look lively, and that's what a duck wants to see. So if you got some more room in the budget, you know, a jerk cord, you can't go wrong there. And lastly, another bonus option, which I don't have one out right now, is a lucky duck or a mojo. Basically, if you guys don't know what that is, you just stick it into the water, and you have it just above the water a little bit, and the wings spin on it, so it looks like a duck's landing in there. Gives you more movement in your spread, makes things look more lively, attracts a lot of ducks. Those are just a couple of options of things that if you have some more room in the budget, you might as well go for it if that's what you're looking to do. If not, like I said, everything before those two things is everything that you would need that's going to be essential to duck hunting. Like I said, waders, decoys, decoy bag, the rope, the weight, and a duck call. Those are like the only things that you guys are gonna need to get into duck hunting. It's gonna be, like I said, super cheap for you guys, minus the gun obviously, but those are all the things that you would need. Your decoys are gonna be rigged up for you, you're gonna have a call, you're gonna have everything you need to get out to the water, throw out your decoys, marsh, whatever it's gonna be, and get hunting. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If there's something I didn't mention that you guys think is worth mentioning, throw it in the comments below, share the knowledge. Other than that, if you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.